Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Sometimes a controversy comes out of nowhere to the point that I sit here and I say, that's like a thing? Really? But apparently it is for some people. I don't know how this got so out of control. So Kabam announced, and I did a small video update on this in the past week, that they would be giving us another solo compensation package. Now, maybe they should have been more specific and just say it's going to be the exact same thing or close to the same thing that we got a month ago when they gave us the original potions and revives and energy refills. I took it as that. I just figured it would be exactly what it ended up being today, and that's why when I looked at it, I wasn't excited. I wasn't disappointed. I was just accepting of the fact that it was what it was. It was the second time we'd seen something like that, and I thought nothing of it. Little did I know on the forums that some of you would be holding out hope for something much, much, much greater. And I don't know where that came from. If there is a similar situation or similar memory of something that happened like that, it was when way back a couple years ago on the December login calendar, before we had like essentially the same kind of login calendars every month. The only thing that really changes on those is what champion's going to be in the featured crystal. But this one had a big question mark. It was like December 24th, and it had a big question mark over it. And so a bunch of people freaked out because they thought, one, Kabam Santa was going to come a day early on Christmas Eve, December 24th. But they also just kept speculating, like, what's it going to be? Is it going to be an Awakening Gem? Maybe it's going to be a 6-star crystal. Maybe it's going to be, like, this was before Nexus Crystal. So it was like, maybe it's going to be a rank up gem. Well, it turned out to be like the equivalent of like lesser gifting crystals. And there was so much rage because of the hype that had been built up that people flooded the forums and crashed Kabam's website. To my knowledge, that might be the only time that's ever happened. And it was because of this artificial hype to the point where Kabam's like, yeah, I guess we're not ever going to cover anything with a question mark again, which I don't think they have. And then on top of that, people felt kind of dumb because the next day, Kabam Santa for the first time gave everybody a gift that was, for the most part, way better than we were thinking that the surprise question mark gift of Christmas Eve was going to be. Well, flash forward to today, Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021, though, for those of you across the pond, it's already Thursday, November 4th, I guess. We just had people who were in this forum post saying things like, for the love of God, please be more than 5 revives. That was just insulting. It's going to be 10 revives. 10 revives, 10 purple pots, maybe half energy refills. You never know. Cyber Weekend's around the corner, so now we've suddenly got theories that they're going to try to get us on their side to spend more money, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. But all of these comments are speculating, and the problem is, at no point did anyone from Kabam comment and say, y'all, sorry, it's going to be the regular compensation package. Now, again, that's just what I assume. I would like to think most people watching this probably assume the same thing. But when you have all of these comments, like LTC, 6-star selector, and he's kidding, by the way, right? They ask what champ you want, and they just give it to you. All kidding aside, not expecting much. And I do think it's funny because LTC has the joke, and then he says, I'll take anything because it's free and it's just a game. They could say and do nothing. I'll appreciate whatever. I mean, that's as fair of a perspective as it gets. Of course, you're going to have people in the comments of this video who say, what a hack. This isn't free. We're giving our time and effort and money. It's going to be huge, massive. It's going to be exciting and super new. It can slice through cans and still cut a tomato. But wait, there's more. It can caulk your bathroom, clean tiles. Best of all, you will be able to revive your champ once to 20% off. Mostly harmless in. That's pretty funny. Maintenance is compensation. So again, it took on a life of its own. But then, Kabam Mike finally commented. Hey everybody, compensation packages should be identical to the last ones with potions and revives. We know that this doesn't address each individual's needs, but as we laid out in this post here, there are many factors that lead to us not being able to accurately measure the impact of these issues. For instance, on this thread alone, and I'm not throwing any shade, just trying to illustrate, I count at least 2 people that are on devices that are not affected by the issues that we're issuing these compensation packages for. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know any device that hasn't had any issues. Like, I'm not talking about the Perry Dex issue. I'm talking about the crashing issue. The crashing issue still affects my phone. And that crashing issue to me is the most damaging because if your game crashes, especially during fights like an Alliance War and Alliance Quest, you're just screwed. And thank God we've got the compensation right now. But if the crashing issue remains and they take the compensation away, it's just a nightmare. Okay, back to this. This doesn't mean that there aren't issues affecting them, but it is not the control input issues. But again, sometimes that means the issues might even be worse than that. We're going to keep monitoring the situation and how players are affected and try to get more accurate, but it is not easy. This is why we're going with generalized packages based on the difference between the before and after resource use based on existing content. So I still think part of what frustrates me about the compensation issue is that they're giving something like the Alliance Quest Alliance War compensation every week, but they're only giving the single non-Alliance Quest Alliance War revives, potions, etc. once a month. Because I think a compromise would be twice a month, not every week, but at least give 10 revives and 20 health potions and 10 energy refills over the course of the full month. That'd be really fair. But part of why players are so ticked, not only is because it's Cyber Weekend month, but they just felt like this was kind of a lazy effort. This is one of the least passive-aggressive posts from Kabam Mike on stuff like this, so we can count that as a win. But I would love to know your thoughts on it. I think a lot of people in this case, like me, just kind of assumed it would be what it is and thought nothing of it, but maybe you were expecting more given that it's a month that by the end of it, Kabam was hoping will shell and throw hundreds of dollars their way. I don't know. Either way, have a good one. YouTube, thanks for watching. And Brian, Shadow Strike, as always, thank you for keeping me updated with the Kabam forums, especially after a long day of teaching.